Hi guys, what's going on? This is David Perlo with Go for Emuna. We're talking about Pesach. We're getting closer now, within 3.5 weeks or so, and things are starting to heat up. People are going to be starting to buy all their new products that they need for the Chag, everything kosher for Passover. Today we're talking about the nikuda, the important aspect of Chametz. The Chametz, again, is connected to our ego and self-pride and bad character traits, which are blocking us from feeling Hashem and having better relationships with people and in our own relationship with God. So there's a few things that we need to talk about. There are two prohibitions that are connected to Chametz, which come from the Torah. They are: you can't see Chametz in your house or in your possession, and you can't find it in your possession. These are two prohibitions within the 613 commandments of the Torah. Okay, there's two that we're talking about right now, that you can't see Chametz in your house, meaning you can't have Kellogg's Rice Krispies out, when you're during the holiday, or bread. You can't see it, and you can't find it, meaning it's got to be out of the house. It's got to be out or hidden in a place. We're going to talk about this right now. Okay, so it's forbidden to eat and keep. Most families, they tend to finish their Chametz. They plan out the time that it takes to finish off the Chametz that they already have in their houses, and they get rid of it. They eat it. They plan out their time, their meals, and when they get closer to the holiday of Pesach, it's already out of the house, out of the fridge, and cleaning is much easier, and it makes the whole thing a lot more simpler and less complex. But the actual verse in the Torah's language is quite interesting. It says that no chametz of yours shall be seen. And the word yours implies that you are the owner of chametz. So what happens is that a lot of people go to their local shul, and what they do is they go to their rabbi, and the rabbi basically has a form which says that he's made a deal with a non-Jew, and this non-Jew is technically buying all of the chametz of the people who write their name on this list. So, for example, you go into the synagogue, you've got a whole bunch of whiskey, Johnny Walker or Red Label, Black Label, whatever it is that you have. It's very expensive, and you don't want to throw it out for the holidays. What do? And you can't drink off a huge bottle of it, but until the Chag. So what do? So you go to the Rav. He's got this form. You write your name there, and you give a little bit of tzedakah. It's like $10 or whatever. And technically, once it says in the contract there that on the 14th of Nisan, the afternoon right before the holiday starts, all of these products are technically underneath the ownership of this non-Jew, meaning that it can be still in your house, but it is under the ownership of that non-Jew. So what people do is they do this process. They write their name, give a little bit of tzedakah. It's not necessary, but it's an opportunity to give. And on the 14th of Nisan, all of these possessions are now underneath the name of that person, meaning that it's no longer yours technically. Okay, and that way, people, what they do is they have like a cupboard in their garage or in an empty room, if you have that place, basically, or a drawer, and you put all of your chametz there, your whiskey, your macaroni, your bread, or your whatever it is, and you just tape it up so that it can't be opened. Okay, or you can lock it up or whatever, and that way it's not yours. It's in your house, but it's technically through that contract, that religious law contract. It's not your ownership. So you're not violating those two prohibitions that we talked about. That's what I've done in the past few years. But ideally, if you could say, but it's still in your house. Technically, it's not in your possession. What's the best thing to do is to try to finish it all off. But those are two options: to finish it all off, or to go through this selling the chametz. In Hebrew, you call it machirat chametz. Okay, now this gets a little bit more interesting. A lot of people are saying, well, they get nervous, like, well, I own stocks in all these different companies that are making food. What do I do? I'm a sort of like an owner, and you don't have to worry about it, because as long as you're a normal investor, meaning you're not like, you don't own the majority of it, you have no authorization to make any decisions about the investments and about the products and about what the company possesses, you're okay, because you are not a owner of the company's property. You get a share of its value, so you have no problem as long as you're like a minor investor. You got some shares in this company, shares in that company. As long as you're not one of those head honchos that can influence, hey, we've got to sell all of this, Pesach is coming, we've got to make the contract like David said, we got to go to the Beit Knesset and write down the name of the company, and it's all going to go to this different non-Jew, and okay, you don't have to worry about that. If you own mutual funds or stocks, you're a minor investor, you're not the head honcho, you can't really influence decisions and what they're doing. You have nothing to worry about, because it's not in your possession. You're just getting part of the value of the company when you sell its stocks. You guys, this is David Perla with Go for Emunah. In our next video, God willing, we're going to be talking about how do we really go about getting rid of the chametz out of our house. Is it just putting it all in a bag, throwing it outside the door, and calling it a day? Or is there a little bit more detail to it? Stay tuned. This is David Perla with Go for Emunah. I hope you enjoyed this. Share it with your friends. Share the Emunah. Have a wonderful Pesach holiday. A lot of happiness and joy. Remember, start preparing now. Don't make it a last-minute thing. It's more fun that way, and you'll feel it more on the Leila Seder. Guys, this is David Perla with Go for Emunah. Thank you so much for tuning in.